Everybody, it is Friday night. Y'all know what it is. It is anime and chill time with us. Your boy DJ Gamer, my co-host, dearest Abby, the queen of con. And Abby, you know what? I'm gonna let you give our audience a brief let them know who we got on today.
Okay.
Let them know who we got on today.
I think at this point, you all know we really like talking to people here on the Anime and Chill podcast. And I have got to tell you, this is someone that I have followed on social media for quite some time, someone that I admire, and a fantastic, hardworking content creator. Today, we're going to be chatting with Chazzy of the Side Project podcast. I cannot wait to dig into all of his projects and everything going on in his experience at Anime Pasadena.
Yes. So we're gonna get right into our boy Chazzy. So everybody, sit back, relax. Hope y'all had a good week leading up to Friday, and y'all can just sit back, relax, and listen to my dude right here. We're gonna get into his anime history, projects that he's got going on. So just sit back, relax, and chill with us. So let's go. And here he is.
Yes. All right. So, clap. Yeah, for me. All right. Woo!
Everybody, I want you to know this person is a wonderful person.
Oh,
the man's energy is off the chain.
Oh,
content creator. You can take the content out and he is still a creator.
Oh, man.
Of all, he is a wonderful person. Again, a motivator. You can just feel it in his presence, his energy. Dude, dude right here, Chazzy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, man. Beautiful intro, man. It's crazy being on the other side of that. You know what I mean? Like, now I know what everybody else feels when I'm like, all right, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we got, and I'm all into it, and it's like a crazy intro. Awesome job, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, dude.
My dude. We've been excited.
What you need to do now is clip it and then upload that arm in the morning, and you're just like hyped up.
Right? Yeah. Every morning. I'm
my God, my personal intro.
I'm in the mirror brushing my teeth, and DJ's just hyping me up, and I'm like, yeah, dude, all right. Yeah, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, yeah, you are the one. You're the
one. My guy. We've been excited for this for a while, no lie.
Man. Me too.
So, you've been busy doing your thing, man, handling your business and everything, dude. And I just told him, you know what? I'm going to reach out to him. We're going to get him on here. Yes. It's been something that we've been talking about, so we're so glad that we finally got it done here. So
I'm happy to be here, man. I'm so happy to be here, dude. I've talked to Abby. I mean, I know you too as well, DJ, but me and Abby go even a little bit further back. I think by maybe a year, maybe, or some change or something. And oh man, Abby was a previous cosplay of the week on my show as well. Amazing. So I'm stoked to be here, man. And then you and me, DJ, we're in the same state. For people that don't know, me and DJ are in the same state. So we've been trying to link up in person as well for the future. Have some cool things in the future rolling out, man.
Yes, we do. We've been talking about it, everybody. But dude, pleasure to have you here, man. We're trying to,
honored.
Just to, get to know you from, your anime history, what you got going on, and all of that good stuff, brother. That's for sure.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Nice. So, I mean, what are you watching right now? Some of your anime. What are your favorite anime shows? Period. Like, man, what got you there? I think you two know that I'm a huge Death Note fan.
right?
Yeah,
like day in and day out, man. I will ride for Death Note forever, dude. That one, that is my all-time favorite anime. I don't know, I just so many different reasons. I like that that like darker tones. I like things that deal with like gods and heaven or hell or anything like that, or like afterlife and things like that. And I love I mean, Ryuk in general, I just love the character design. Like, that's something that I've always loved. I appreciate like art and everything and character design and the way things look. And I've always loved animes that have like, excuse me, like different creatures, and they look different, like not necessarily human like things always just attract me. So Death Note has always been a highlight of my anime adventures that I love to have, man. And then I got to tell you, dude, like also like Miyazaki, dude, like just like his style. Spirited Away is also one of my favorites. I love No Face. I mentioned that I like things that aren't quite human and stuff like that. That always draws to me. But I got to tell you, like his style, like the way that, I don't know if you guys know or if you ever watched like a documentary on him before, but like his style, the way that he doesn't actually necessarily write any scripts. He just draws his way through the entire movie and just like, I'm just going to kind of see what this turns into and what it goes. And everybody just has to kind of like abide by what he's doing. And they don't actually have a full like beginning, middle, and end. He just draws his way through it. And like, I got to tell you, I admire that because I am not that person. Like can we curse on here?
Yes,
no?
yes, yes.
My shit is like very well thought out, even if it's just thought out like in my head. You know what I mean? Like I sit there and I'm just like, all right, and then the next thing I'm gonna, like I people pride me on like my improv, but I gotta tell you, like I get so like anxiety ridden and OCD like when it comes to like improv things. I mean, I just go, I'll fire off the hip, but like I'm a very like have it kind of more thought out. So the way that he does his films, just insane to do that, man. So I got to tell you, Death Note and Spirited Away is one of my all-time favorites, but Miyazaki as a whole, I admire him as a creator.
Nice. Yeah. Very well put together. I like that, man. I love it.
That makes sense when you say that, because I can't tell you how many Miyazaki films where it doesn't really feel like there's a beginning to the story or an end to the story. Like you're just witnessing part of these characters' lives. Fantastic. I'll actually have to look that up. Thank you for sharing that.
And his beautiful worlds, all his worlds are always so detailed. And you know what else it is and I'm sorry if I'm running this little segment on too long, but like,
go ahead.
What else I love is like his worlds are so populated. They're so populated. Like everybody that's doing something in the background. And there's a documentary, I can't remember what documentary it was that I watched, but they touch on that too. And they're saying, I think he may even be saying himself, like he wants his films to be like, in a sense, real life, aside from, the fantasy details and everything, but people are doing things in the background. They're not just NPCs just standing there like a video game where they're not doing anything. They're doing things in the background in real life. So he said something, either he did or someone else mentioned that he said it before, I don't remember, but that like in his movies, if you look, people in the background, they're walking, they're doing stuff, they're picking stuff off the ground. It's populated. They're beautiful worlds that are populated. It's just the little details. It's the little things that sometimes people notice. And I dig that. I love that.
Nice, brother. That's what's up. That is that is awesome. So how did you get started with your side project podcast? Where did that idea come from?
Okay, so for I'll try to shorten it because it's a very long story. So I'm gonna try my best. I have trouble with shortening stories. So the name was, it's Side Project Podcast. Well, I'm kind of in the middle, but you can kind of see it there. Side Project Podcast with a K and everything, and it's inspired by the K being in place of the C. Inspired by Mortal Kombat and Linkin Park is actually where that came from, and that name was actually. When I was maybe like middle school, I had like a band and we called it Side Project. But we actually spelled the side with a Y because we were trying to be even more edgy. You know what I mean?
Very middle school.
Yeah. And then I think I even did the S, like that 90s, that old school 90s, like diamond S. And you had to, right? If there's anybody tuning in that didn't grow up in the 90s, they have no idea what we're talking about. But like,
I feel like that's a fantastic opportunity for
three lines. It started off with 3 lines on the top and on the bottom, and then you connect. connect.
Yeah, you connected it. It's like, yeah, exactly, man. It was like that was our S, and then it was a Y. Anyway, that's where that started from. And then I, obviously grew out of that. Didn't do anything with it. And then I originally had a co-host, Juicebox. Shout out to Juicebox. I don't know if he's watching right now or not, but we were on a road trip to Vegas, and we've known each other for like 15 plus years. We always had all these like cool conversations. And I know people like these days, now that podcasts are like really big, people are always like, oh, just because you have dope conversations with your friends doesn't mean you should start a podcast. You know what I mean? So like, I hate that was kind of partially my story, and now it's like a thing that people like shit on, but that was literally kind of it. We were like, man, we have so many cool conversations about like gaming and film and cosplay and stuff. Like, I've always wanted to do more things in entertainment and stuff. We might as well just do it, man. And we were like, all right, let's do it. Went back home after our Vegas trip, and like, we're talking about it for like a week, and then something just said into me like, if I don't just buy all this equipment, I'm never gonna do it. We're just gonna keep talking about it. So I bought it. I hit him up and I was like, I bought everything. You're going halves on it with me. He's like, wait, what? And I'm like, we're doing it. We're starting next week. And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, come over Thursday. I've already got episode 1 planned out. Let's go. Nobody go back and watch those episodes though. Okay.
Archives. Right. We're going. Yeah. We're going.
We all start somewhere. That's all I got to say.
Yes. Yes.
And then we just kind of ran with it, man. And like I said, we all start somewhere. So over the course of time, it developed into bigger and better things. Not in a cocky way. I mean, more comfortable and getting the hang of things and stuff like that. And yeah. And then I think after a couple episodes, we decided to brand it as gaming, film, and cosplay, the 3 things that we are, the biggest in. And film covers a wide variety of things. And yeah, and that's pretty much how it started, man. And I do a cosplay of the week every episode. Episodes are bi-weekly, and doesn't even matter if the episode doesn't pertain to cosplay. I always cater to the cosplay community, one of the best communities in the world, and they've done so much for me, and that's my way of giving back. So that's pretty much how it went.
Nice.
And I've got to say, the range of cosplayers that you highlight is quite literally everyone. You have found such a fantastic group of people, and I'm following several of those people because you have shared them.
Yes,
oh, that's awesome.
That's how people gain exposure.
Right.
Through that. So it's a big circle of growing and exposure and meeting everyone. So shout out to you for doing that.
Thank you.
There's other content creators out here that are striving to be seen, and you're out here pushing that. Shout out to you.
Thank you. And I do want to say, it's not even just the cosplay community. I have tons of guests on that range from everything gaming, film, and cosplay as well. And I do my best to share everybody and everything, despite it being a cosplay of the week, a highlight every episode. Because the way I always look at everything, whether if you're a creator of any kind, or even if you just love to watch stuff like what we all do here, is just my motto is there's room for everybody to eat at this table. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about everybody. It's about all of us. So. And shout out to everybody in the comments. I saw those comments. I was just waiting.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much. I was just waiting for the right moment to mention it. You know what I mean?
Oh, good. It's all
Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you coming out with us.
Oh, yeah.
So you were just talking about meeting other people and there's enough room for everyone at the table.
Yeah.
Film covers a broad subject. I would like to right off the bat ask, how did you meet our previous guest of Anime and Chill podcast, Colin K. Bass?
I
would like to know, because you are both phenomenal creators, so that almost feels like a dynamic duo, everything ready to just blow up on your end of town. I'm ready to see what that's about. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had Jake Korup, Corruption Cosplay. He who also may or may not be tuning in right now. I have no idea. He is a huge cosplayer. He's absolutely awesome. I had him on my show. He's also an actor who actually works with NerdBot, which is Colin's production company. And I had Jake on to talk to him about Power Rangers Shattered Past. He plays Lord Draken, and the Star Wars series that they were doing, Qui-Gon Legends. So I had Jake on to talk about a flurry of different things. And because I was mentioning NerdBot and all that stuff in Crimson Vision Studios, Colin saw it. And then so Colin reached out to me and gave me some compliments on the show. Good episode. It was awesome. And said that he'd love to come on and talk about stuff further and more details, in more depth. So I was like, yeah, definitely, man. So I think I put something together like a week or two later, and we did the episode. He came on, I believe it was episode 120, talked about a flurry of things. was just an awesome interview. It was just like, you guys are podcasters too. So this is absolutely no shade to anyone. I am not mentioning anybody in specifics, but as podcasters, as interviewers, I'm sure you've come across a time, and any other podcasters out there that are listening right now or watching, I'm sure you've come across a time where you're interviewing somebody and it's hard to pull stuff out of them. Or it's like, it's just not,
yes.
the energy's just not there. And you're just like, come on, man, like, give me something. Like, I'm asking, you got to give me more. You ask a question, and they just say like 2 sentences, and you're like, now I've got to try to piggyback on this and elaborate.
And pull more out.
Yes, you know what I mean? Try to get more out. Like, we're doing this because we love it and it's fun, but we're also trying to put on a show for the audience. So you gotta give me something, you know?
Yes.
Right.
Colin, and you guys have had him on before. Colin's not one of those people. You know, the dude will ride with you, man, you know, and he's just a natural. You have a great conversation, and for, you know, obviously for entertainment purposes, and then also him and we had a great time. We had an awesome conversation, and it definitely it wasn't for entertainment. I was hooked in. I was interested. I loved having a conversation with him, and it was like, I think about 40 minutes into the episode, I'm talking and I'm like zoned in. I'm like asking him questions. I'm going through my shit. And he stops and he just goes, "You're really good at this, man." I was like, oh man, yeah, thank you, dude. And then for like 5 to 10 minutes, he just like hijacked the show and was just talking about like, have you ever thought about doing like this? And we just had like this whole like sidebar conversation about like, maybe you could come do this for us, and maybe we could talk about doing this. He like basically offered me a job live in the moment, and then like he was like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry, man. I just like hijacked your whole segment. We'll talk off camera." And then we continued, you know, doing the episode, and then we spoke for like a good like 30-40 minutes off camera, and then I went and I met him in person, and we just hit it off, and we just talked about a bunch of cool ideas and cool things that we could make happen, things that NerdBot is doing for the future. And Colin was like, I think you're a good dude, and I think you got a good thing going. We want to bring you along, man. Come do it with us. And aside from that, man, it's cool because a friendship forged from it, you know. And Colin is a genuine dude. And I say this before the friendship even forged. I've said this before. He's a genuine dude, man. You know, he's not stuck up. He's not cocky. You know, he doesn't think that he's better than anybody. He's always asking people for input and everything. And the dude, I've had the pleasure of being on set with him when he's filmed the series finale for Power Rangers Shattered Past. It was absolutely amazing. I was on set for that. And I got to tell you guys, the dude is a hard worker. He's the hardest working one there. I'm not even bullshitting. But aside from that, great dude, and it's really cool that a friendship forged from it, man. He's a really good dude.
Honestly, yes, he is. Like, I got that from him right out the gate. I said, "Oh, this dude is humble. He's
just a genuine guy, man.
Genuine person, dude." That's also big shout out to Colin, my
brother. Hard to come across in the industry. You know what I mean? It's hard to come across. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for what we do and all of that. Yes, people like that don't come around often. Yeah. So, man, Colin, genuine, nice dude, brother. Big shout out. Big shout out. So, yeah. So we're talking about cool. So how you say the content creating, how did that come about? Where did that start? Was it all together with the podcast, or
I have a I don't talk about it very, very much for a plethora of different reasons, and I won't carry on with this one too long because this could go on forever. But I have a extensive history in the music industry, actually. So content creation, being in studios, production, and singing and all that stuff. I've gone on some tours before. I've been on stage, so I'm comfortable with I guess creation as a whole. I'm comfortable. Where's Chario? He's working on some merch. He's working on some merch on the side. He's not here right now. He's elsewhere. But I have that for like about 15 years of my life. I have that in my back pocket. So I'm comfortable with doing certain things like that. But where the podcast came in is like the story that I said when we were going to Vegas, and then we wanted to do something different. I had kind of put music to the side for a couple different reasons. And I wanted to do something that was my other love, which I guess turned into loves, plural, which was, you know, like I said, gaming, film, and cosplay, all things that I absolutely love since a kid. And I just wanted to do that. And I wanted to do it in a form of talking, interviewing, getting other people on, talking with people that are like-minded, highlighting people and all their hard work, because I know what it's like to not have your work recognized. I've been there. And that's not to say that side project is like giant or anything. I'm still moving forward and doing everything that I can. I'm in no way saying that I'm like anything special. But I know what it's like to not have your work recognized. And one of the major things of my podcast is spreading that positivity and highlighting everybody else. As much as it, I'm the host of it, obviously. So, it's, about me, quote unquote, you know what I mean? But a lot of my show, despite maybe even the solo ones, the solo ones are more like, 60, 70% about, everything, different things and me and whatnot. And I do like the comedy stuff when it's solo episodes. But if you really pay attention and look at my podcast, it's really mostly about everybody else. It's really about highlighting everybody else in any of these three genres. So that was like the goal too, is to highlight everyone else, because I know what it's like to not be highlighted. And then in the mix of getting more comfortable with podcasting and doing things like that and interviews, comes the comedy skits that I do, the merch skits that I do, and then the acting stuff, and then making music. Power Rangers Shattered Past behind the scenes trailer I did for them. I did a music. I do custom music for cosplayers such as Imposter Cosplay. I did his X-Men theme, Corruption Cosplay, Danny Darko and Logan Dominic. I did a Spider-Man theme for them and things like that. So it just kind of turned into an amalgamation of like my history and this new venture all rolled into one. So
nice.
That's what I'm learning as everything kind of goes along, that it's like, it becomes a one-person show at times where it's like, oh, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that too. And I can do that. And I can do that. And you kind of learn as you go with some of it. So with you having a music industry background, you were kind of able to go, well, I've got a head start on some of this. I'm familiar with a lot of these things going on, but you were able to fine tune more to what you love, more to what you personally enjoy, rather than just kind of, being under the umbrella of it all. You get to do exactly what it is, what you want. And that's fantastic. Not a lot of people get to do that. So I'm glad that you enjoy that.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So I would like to take a microscope rapid fire round to Side Projekt Podcast. I'm going to shoot you some questions and feel free to answer them as quickly or as slowly as you like.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm such an indecisive person. I told you guys, like I thoroughly think everything out. Let's see how good I can do with this.
You can do this. I believe it. So someone's never heard of Side Projekt before. How would you describe it?
Gaming, film, cosplay with a cosplay of the week, every episode with a comedic twist.
Love it. Next question. What is your favorite part of Side Projekt Podcast?
Meeting everybody. Everybody Fantastic. I get to meet.
Next one. What can fans of Side Projekt Podcast look forward to in 2023?
A lot of guests. I got to tell you, a lot of guests ranging from everything in gaming, film, and cosplay. Literally, I hate to keep just plugging gaming, film, and cosplay, but that's obviously what it pertains to. A lot of guests. And I got to tell you, big things coming for the cosplay community. I don't want to say too much, but big things coming for the cosplay community.
Nice.
Side Projekt's about to really pivot into some real cosplay shit, and as well as film as well. I mean, gaming too, but cosplay and film are about to be they're going to be taken to the next level.
Love that. Okay, now we're talking about it. People want to know, where can they watch and where can they listen?
On YouTube. It's a very much so a visual show. It is on YouTube, youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast, project with a K, and videos are available on Spotify. You can listen wherever you'd like to listen, but it's very much so a visual show.
Love it. And last one, how can people support Side Projekt Podcast?
Watch it, share it, like it on social media and stuff like that.
Yes.
There is a merch store. I'm wearing one of them right now, the Project Lines tee, and I got all the mugs, the Project Park Side Project mug and everything. There's all kinds of stuff up there as well. And the merch does not go in my pocket. I just want everybody to know that. I've never said this before ever. The merch money does not go in my pocket. The merch money goes back into the podcast. It always goes back into furthering the podcast. I don't keep it, and I'm not, buying Sour Patch Kids with it. You know what I mean?
So if you see this and you know Chazzy, somebody please give him a pack of Sour Patch Kids. He has earned a pack.
I'm gonna hook you up, brother. I'm gonna hook you up.
Sour Patch Kids.
I just want some damn Sour Patch Kids, you guys. Come on.
I will second the fact and the emphasis that Side Projekt is a very visual show. I love everything that you put on Instagram. I have chuckled so many times watching a YouTube video on the treadmill. I almost fell off, just thinking, not saying that side project is a liability for anyone if you're kind of doing things. But there have been so many times where I'm watching it and it just goes, it is intentional AWOL content, and it is just fine-tuned. And the merch that you mentioned, everything is very inside joke. So like you'll be seeing things and you'll go like, oh, I remember that episode. I know that. And you can pick and choose some of your favorite things. So that's one of my personal favorite things about all of it. It's all very layered, very deep. And you can kind of jump in at any point. It's almost like a television show. Like maybe you didn't know them in this era, but you can move them into this era here.
You hit it on the mark. That's one thing that I gotta throw into my branding a little bit more is I do kind of like it's definitely a podcast, but because it's so visual, it's almost like a podcast / talk show / like YouTube content, like video thing. It's a couple different things rolled into one, and that comes from my love of like old talk shows, like back in the day. Like I loved Conan, for instance. Like Conan was one of my favorite talk show hosts. Conan O'Brien, like his goofiness, and he was so much more different than like David Letterman or like Jay Leno. I don't really watch Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or anything anymore, but the old school ones, especially like Conan O'Brien, like that is something that I actually kind of modeled my show after, was more so like the old like late night talk shows. So it's funny that you kind of say television show. You're accurate with my ideas.
It's so
there you
silly in the best way possible. And I have to say, I think one of my personal favorite episodes is when you were ranking all of the Halloween villains. And justifying like how one would do better. Like, oh, if Pennywise did this, there's no way Jason would be able to survive that.
I was like going in depth.
Really, truly. And every single aspect of your show does that. And I think it really does outshine some of the other podcasts out there. Not to put anyone down or kind of just to say that you're a quality content creator. And as us people who are still learning, we're still babies in our platform. You are an inspiration to those around you.
Thank you.
Yes,
and I am very eager to see you're talking about bigger and better things for 2023. I am here to cheer you on. DJ's here to cheer you on. Looking forward.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
So definitely look. I could not make Anime Pasadena. Boy was sick.
Yeah,
but
I know how that goes.
I did see some of the stuff you were doing down there. So let us know, how was the panel? How was the Death Note reunion? How was all of that? How was it?
Look, I want to say a couple things. So one, I want to thank Colin. And I want to thank Jake Corruption Cosplay, because if it wasn't for me doing that episode with Jake, Colin wouldn't have seen what I was doing. I knew what Colin was doing, obviously, but Colin wouldn't have seen that episode. Colin wouldn't have come on my show, which was like, a highlight for me. It was a milestone for me to be able to talk to him about all of that stuff and get like all those amazing details about things that I actually watched, like his Reverse Flash. I mean, we went deep even into his past for anybody that's watching and is interested in that. And if it wasn't for Jake and if it wasn't for Colin, I wouldn't have been at Anime Pasadena and I wouldn't have been doing the Death Note panel. So for anybody watching right now, and Colin, if you're watching, I know he was tuning in earlier, but I just want to give a round of applause for Nerdbot and for Jake and for Colin, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. And then I also want to say that the Anime Pasadena episode of Side Project Podcast and being there in general, man, like it couldn't have been done without my boy Ricky, R1 Lifestyle, my videographer. It couldn't have been done without him. It couldn't have been done without Jake, who helped behind the scenes as well. Juicebox, my previous co-host, he was actually there at Anime Pasadena behind the scenes, helping with production, even though he's not a part of the podcast anymore. And I just thought that was cool. That's like a true friend. That's just like, hey man, I believe in you. We started this together. I'm there with you, whatever you need. And I couldn't have done it without Leo Cortez either, Art Hero Photo, who did event photography and behind the scenes photography for me. I may be the face of these scenarios, but when it comes to doing all the event stuff outside of here in the studio, There's a whole team that I have, and that's something that I don't think enough people give credit to is their team. I really could not have done it without those guys. So I really advise everybody to go check them out on social media. You can obviously find them on Side Project Podcast and just click all their stuff. Those guys are amazing. So aside from that, I'm sorry to hijack the show and do that, but I have to.
Hey, I'm
These
giving you the keys. Here the keys. It's all you.
It's a team effort. There's no way I could have done it without him. So, but the Death Note panel was amazing, you guys. It was phenomenal. Like, to be able to talk to one as a fan, even if you saw that episode or even if you just saw the clips, there was a moment where I was on stage with them, behind the podium, and I was just like, I had a moment, I looked over at them, and then they talked for a minute, then it got quiet, and I was just like, this is where I'm supposed to interject, you know what I mean? And like carry the show on. But I was like looking at them and I was just like, man, this is cool as shit. Like from a fan standpoint as well.
Yes.
Like, I know I've got a job to do, but I'm also a fan. So, you know what I mean? So it was a moment where I was like, you know what? I'm trying not to like, I don't remember exactly how I said it, but I'm trying not to geek out, I think is what I said. And I was like, but I'm not going to lie, I'm geeking out, and I'm geeking out with the crowd right now. And like the whole crowd just started like cheering and stuff. And then it was cool, man. But I met them before we went live. I met them backstage and I talked with them, and that footage is in the episode as well. There's behind the scenes of it, and those guys were so cool. The entire cast of Death Note were absolutely amazing. Super humble people. They're not stuck up whatsoever at all. They were just chatting with me. They were making jokes with me. They were making jokes about how pronouncing their names wrong, although I wasn't. They were just trying to fuck with me. Like, they were like joking, they were like touching me and pushing me. Like, it felt like we were friends. You know what I mean? Like, they were totally down to earth guys. And one of the things that I noticed, again, it's in the episode, so you'll be able to see it. But, I don't get like super, super nervous. Like, I don't get like, I've been on stages, I've been in front of crowds, and it's not in a cocky way. I do get nervous. I get the pre-show jitters.
Yes, of course.
I get the pre-show jitters when I'm doing my podcast here by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I there's some inside stories. I'm not perfect. Like, I do. I'm like, I just want it to go good. I want it to go right. I don't want to fuck up too much or like slur my words too much or anything like that, So imagine when you're like going with like, was it like 1,800 people or whatever that fills, So I'm like, I get those. Of course, everybody, it's normal. You're like, oh, I hope I don't fuck up. I hope I don't say anything wrong. I hope I don't refer to somebody. I hope I don't say the wrong name just by accident. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, you get any of those things, but I'm not like sitting there freaking out. Like, I'm used to being in front of a crowd. That's not the part that bothers me. It's all the other things that I said beforehand. But I got to tell you, those guys made me feel so comfortable that the minute that I was talking to them, joking with them, and then Juice came and was like, I'm telling you, Juice was like my assistant. He came and he was like, Chaz, 5 minutes. I was like, okay, all right. Like 5 minutes before I get on stage. And you see that in the video. He comes up and he whispers in my ear, 5 minutes until you go on. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, all right, guys, well, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I'll do this, I'll do that. And then I'll introduce you guys. And then, I'll see you in about 5 minutes. And they're like, all right, cool. And then you see the shift in my emotion. You see the shift in my aura, my walk, and everything. When I turn around, I was like, and I remember it in the moment. I turned around and I was like, I've got this. Like, I got this.
Bro, I got this. Game face. Let's go. I
gotta tell you, it's not on any cocky thing, and it's not me. It was them. It was them that made me feel like, man, these guys are just so cool. They're just down to earth and everyday people like myself. You know what I mean? They're just extremely talented. You know what I mean? They're just extremely talented. It was really cool, man. It was awesome talking with them, and the crowd, I did some crowd work in the beginning and I hyped the crowd up before I came out and I brought like the music style like thing to the stage where it's like, Anime Pasadena, how you guys feeling? And everybody was like, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're MC.
And it was like, yeah. And like their agent was even like, what the fuck is going on? So it was really cool. The crowd, aside from giving praise to the cast of Death Note, man, the audience is really what helped bring that energy and made everybody just feel that much more comfortable. It's amazing when they're reciprocated. They reciprocate your energy. It resonates with them. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of it, and I'm thankful that the audience was, digging my hosting for that panel. It was awesome.
Nice.
That's so cool. I can't tell you how many panels I've attended where it's just kind of like we just sit there and listen. So that you were emphasizing audience interaction. That's something that's not very common, and I would like to see more of that. So if there's anybody else here, if you have any pull in it, maybe just start telling people, "Hey, man,
go look at the content. Go look at his
videos. Yeah, let me show you what the people want."
Go.
Thanks.
I just hope it resonates with people for the future. You know,
I think that it will. It probably made the
Yes.
experience a whole lot more enjoyable because it wasn't a typical sit down and listen. It was a very much so back and forth experience. So that wasn't the only panel you hosted, right? What else did you do?
No, I didn't host any other panels. I was actually a guest on a panel on a Toonami panel with Colin and DJ Rivers and Jimmy Arias. I always forget. I think it's Arias. It was an awesome panel, and it was supposed to be kind of more about like Toonami, and it kind of turned into like a lot of random different things and like comedy and just like conversations. It ended up like a whole section of Death Note, and Colin's probably gonna hate this if he's still watching, but like okay, I gotta ask before I even throw like a wrench in the conversation. Did you guys watch the Netflix adaptation of Death Note, and did you like it?
I have opinions on it, and I will leave it there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, me too. So Colin likes it. Likes it. And I don't remember how the conversation started, but there was like a segment during Toonami where, again, I don't know how it started, but Colin mentioned that he liked it, and then I was like against it, and then we were like battling it for a minute, and then we got like audience interaction of if people liked it, and there was actually surprisingly a lot more people in the audience that liked it than I expected. I didn't expect it. And Colin, if you're watching, he told me, go back, because I didn't even finish it. I turned it off after 25 minutes.
You have to finish it.
That's what Colin said. So I haven't done it yet, but Colin, I will do it. I'll give it at least the full run through, and then I'll form an official opinion. But I haven't watched it. So like it was supposed to be a Toonami panel, and it just turned into like a lot of different things. And it was such a great time. Colin hosted that. And then I was also on Unnecessary Debates. Shout out to Tyler McPhail. He hosted that with a flurry of people. Too many to name. It was a bunch. And what that was two teams are pinned against each other, and Tyler gives us things that we have to debate. So, and we have to pick a side. So we have to pick a side for each thing that he does. So for instance, and it's not just anime. This one was an amalgamation of things. So for instance, the first question was, who wore it better? Porky Pig or Winnie the Pooh? And
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Winnie the
And
Pooh.
it's a comedic panel. It's a comedic panel. And so we had to pick, I don't remember how we chose, but somebody, we just out of a hat or something, and somebody gets the first pick, you know what I mean? Something like that. And so the first team, they chose Winnie the Pooh, so I got Porky Pig. Me and my team got Porky Pig, and I wanted Winnie the Pooh because I'm a giant Winnie the Pooh fan.
Same
but
here.
You got to go with what you got, right? With what you get. And so it's stuff like that. They pin things against each other. Two teams go. My team won. We won it at the end. And I remember it's in the Anime Pasadena episode, and I remember on the episode we for Porky Pig, I was like, he's got a bow tie. He's got more of like a full suit. Sometimes he wears a hat. So I went with like the dapper route. Like he's dressed up for anything you need. You know what I mean? Anything you need. Meanwhile, Winnie the Pooh just threw on a shirt. He's just dangling in the wind there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Winnie's here ass out on a Thursday.
Exactly. Bro. Winnie's letting it hang.
Yeah.
Winnie's letting it hang, bro.
And then there's a guy named Lamar who just went hard for Porky, and he was just like saying so many different things, and we just timed it so perfectly. We improv'd it to where he said something like, a mic drop moment, and the audience was like, oh, and then I was like, that's all, folks, and then everybody was like, oh, everybody freaked out. Someone was like, make love to me, Chazzy. I was like, whoa, it's not that kind of party, and it was all over the place, man.
But Winnie's there for that kind of party. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a great time. So those were the other two panels that I was on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You mentioned that you were doing doing some hyping up before, and I think after. You call them roaming interviews. I would like to know a little bit more about that. How was the experience different from hosting a panel? So like going out and speaking to people on the floor, doing all of that. How is that different from talking to a celebrity guest? Like what kind of interaction, what was the difference?
Yeah, mostly when you're doing like the roaming interviews and everything, it's again, it's in the episode. It's basically just like me, you know, standing there with a mic and interviewing people and going back and forth. And with those, it's more so like the guests, the attendees. Sometimes it's other staff, other panel hosts as well. If I catch them when because we're all busy doing several different things. So you kind of just got to catch people in green rooms or catch people when you're walking and it's just kind of like that. Hey, real quick, you know, and we just get the mic and we do our thing real quick. And that's why I say, again, I couldn't have done it without my team, everybody carrying equipment ready to go. And that's what people don't see. They just see me there with the mic interviewing a cosplayer and asking them about their day. But what you guys don't see behind the cameras, there's like 3 or 4 people carrying a bunch of equipment. You know what I mean? All day for me. And it's like, that's crazy. That's awesome. You know what I mean? So again, shout out to the whole crew. But those differ from like the panels because one, the panels, I did improv a couple moments on the panel, but for the most part, my panel questions and everything, I wrote those out. I spent time on those and I wanted to give the panelists, you know, good questions and engaging questions for the audience as well. But for the interviews while I'm roaming, they're all improv. They're all in the moment because it could change from person to person, from cosplayer to cosplayer. Cosplayer to cosplayer, so you never know. So I did roaming interviews for Anime Pasadena itself, and then I also did roaming interviews for my podcast. And it's awesome though. It's still awesome because it's still right up my alley as far as my podcast goes. It's the majority of the interviews are cosplayers. You know, the only thing that you got to do sometimes is it's one of those things where you got to kind of pull, you know what I mean? Because sometimes they're not used to it either. They're like, I've gotten behind, here's behind the scenes, super behind the scenes. I've had some interviewees before we hit record, they would lean in and they would tell me and they'd be like, I'm so nervous right now. And I'm like, why? You're going to be fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Like, I got it. I will steer the ship. I will make you feel comfortable. Trust me. You know what I mean? Just look into my eyes. I'll give you that energy. You'll be good. And they're like, no, I've never done an interview before. And then like, you could see they're so nervous. And there's one in my episode where you can literally see her like shaking. She's like, she's shaking and she just keeps laughing and giggling. It was so cute though. It was adorable. It was absolutely awesome. And she was actually Misa Amane. She was cosplaying as Misa Amane from Death Note. I was like, I have to interview her. But what a sport. She's never been on camera before. She's never done an interview. She's never done anything like that. She was super nervous and she still was like game to do it. It was awesome.
That's just what a lasting memory she will have. I love that. Have imprinted on her. She's always like, I was interviewed by Side Project Podcast.
By Chazzy. I was interviewed by Chazzy.
I can park here, okay? I've been interviewed.
She was so cool. Yeah, I want to highlight that comment right there. They seem so fun to do. They are. They really are. If you have that personality, if you have that like, you know, want to talk to people personality, it's so cool because you get again. It's like what we do here like right now. It's that like-minded stuff. And it's just in the moment and it's just like back to back to back, you know, it's awesome. It actually is really fun.
Well, speaking on that, well, that's my son, Michael, right there. That's my son. Oh, okay. So Michael, this is the guy right here. Look what I'm telling you. Take notes. It's my dude right here, Chazzy.
Thank you, man.
He'll show you.
I'm curious though. I'm curious, Michael, if you could write it in the comments and I don't know, we don't have to maybe touch on it, but just so I could see, I'll look. What did you mean when you said you never heard anybody say it like that? That's a surprise. What was that in reference to? I'm just curious.
Death Note.
Death Note, yeah.
Death Note. What was that? The thing on Netflix, right?
Yeah. You've never heard anyone say that they like the Death Note.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which I'm not surprised by that.
Not surprised.
I believe it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I wanted to follow up that question about the roaming interviews. Were there certain guests that you got more interaction from over others, like maybe people in t-shirt and jeans that were just there to enjoy it, weren't really as willing to participate in conversation, or cosplayers all about it, ready to be on camera? What were some of your favorite people to kind of go back and forth with?
Man, I got to tell you, so there's a video that's on my Instagram and the Anime Pasadena Instagram. You'll probably have to scroll for a bit, but it's not on YouTube or anything like that. It was just a straight to Instagram one where I was there during pre-registration. I believe it was the day. Yeah, it was the day before. Me and Ricky, my videographer, R1 Lifestyle on Instagram. We were there the day before, doing crew stuff, and I went out. And I was like, let's get some like pre-reg content. Let's get some content before the con officially starts. Let's ask people how they're doing. They were not about it. They were not about it. I gotta tell you. Like, I went out there and I was like confident. I was like, I got this. I'm gonna hype the whole lineup. It was like a whole line of people, lined up trying to get their badges early, obviously, pre-registration. And I was like, Anime Pasadena, how's everybody feeling? And like the first cheer was just kind of like, like everybody just looked tired. They were tired. They were waiting in line. The con hasn't started yet, so they're not like in con mode. Everybody's in regular clothes. They're like, hey man, it's too early for this shit. You know what I mean? It's like 9:30 in the morning, bro. Like, what are we doing? I'm just trying to get my badge and go back to work. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Ricky just said, he was like, okay, I hope tomorrow is better. But I gotta tell you, I was like, I'm not giving up. And I was like, no, come on, you guys could do better than that. Anime Pasadena, how you guys feeling? And it was a little bit more like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah. You know what I mean? And then there was a couple pieces of footage that did not make the cut. I had to do it like 2 or 3 times to get, good footage. I was like, we can't throw this on Instagram. This looks horrible right now.
Oh, no.
But after I hyped him up a little bit, and thanks to this one, just by coincidence that I was hosting the Death Note panel, there was this one lady who was camped out, I think 2 nights before, dedicated to be the first one to get her badge and everything. And she just stayed there. She was like, I'm staying outside like the entire time just to have, I guess, just to be the first one when the doors open, apparently. And it's in that video, she's like, I go, what are you guys most excited for at Anime Pasadena? And it was just like crickets. And then she goes, the Death Note panel, like extremely loud.
Yes.
And I was like, yes. I was like, yes, definitely. I'm hosting that. So I'll see you there. And I was like, anybody else? What else are you excited for? Crickets. And then she goes, she repeats it, the Death Note panel. And so I repeated myself. I was like, yes, I'll see you there. I'm hosting it. Like, I just said the same exact thing again. And then I walked and I was like, all right, we're going to get some interaction out of these people. We're going to make them feel good. So I went specifically like from person to person and like interviewed them. And that like loosened everybody up a little bit. So I got to tell you, people just in like shirt, jeans, waiting the day before, not the day. Got it. It's when the convention is ongoing.
Yes. We're only conducting interviews between con times. Anything before and after.
Yes.
No.
People are like, hey man, I'm off the clock right now. All right.
I'm off the clock. I'm
no interviews until tomorrow. All right.
This was not included in my ticket. No, thank you.
Exactly. Nope. Saturday and Sunday are the days for interviews.
That's silly.
Thank you,
I would think
you.
for sure, like people are there hyped up to go get their ticket, that they would be like, all right, let's go.
Right?
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, people were dead. They were dead. And then it's all love though. People were probably, coming from work, in between schedules, they got to do what they got to do. So, but it was fun. Shout out to everybody that did participate during pre-reg day. That was awesome.
Very fun. Now I see here somebody's talking about an after party. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Oh, where's that at? I missed it. Can you highlight it? The after party was lit. Yeah. The Anime Pasadena after party was awesome, dude. It was hosted by Colin himself, dude. Colin hosting the after party. It was cool, man. I got my whiskey on, we had a good time. We were live at the party, dancing around at the Bunny Lounge. I was the Bunny Lounge. That's all I'm going to say. I was the Bunny Lounge, right? No, it was a good time. The after party was great. Oh man, Ricky, you're still here. Hit it in the comments if I'm wrong. Is it 30 fallouts to romance? Oh God, Ricky, Amit, do any of you guys remember? It's like an emo cover band. An emo cover band performed live at the after party, and it was awesome. Like, even if you're not everybody, I'm into all kinds of genres of music, so I'm down with everything.
Same here.
I gotta tell you, they played Paramore, Decode, and they killed it. It's a male and female singing like duo. Like, it's a whole band, but I'm saying the lead singers. There's a female singer and a male singer. So they did Paramore, and they oh my God, that was the highlight for me for the band. I just gotta say, if anybody from Nerdbot is watching watching right now, and 30 Fallouts to Romance. If that's the name, Ricky said, I think so. God, I should know this. Colin's gonna kill me. I should know this right now.
That sounds like a very emo name band,
right?
So
I think
probably
you're that,
not
bro.
far off.
Yeah, you're not off.
But it was a good time, dude. There was the Bunny Lounge. Colin hosted it. The band played, and they absolutely killed it. And then there was a karaoke as well. And I gotta say, I don't know if this gets out to anybody, or you guys make this a clip or something. I don't know. There was a guy, I don't know who he was or where he's from, if he's local or if he was just at Anime Pasadena, flew in, but he did Copacabana, and it was one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen. And like the dude was just on fire, dude. And I was like, I had a little bit of whiskey in me, so I was like,
oh, you were feeling that.
I was getting it in, dude. And then what's that thing called when everybody like gets behind everybody and they dance in like the circle?
Line?
Yes, dude. And that was on fire. And everybody was just like, between that and the band, that was the highlight of the night. That guy killed it.
Oh, my God.
Wherever you are, Copacabana guy, I want you to come on the show and just sing it on my show, dude.
There we go.
And we're just going to dance for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Let's clip this and let's put it out there. Let's clip this and we're going to put it out there. We're going to find the Copacabana dude. We're going to find you.
Yes. Copacabana guy.
Yes. A shadow. And where you at, Copacabana dude?
I will risk the copyright strike. That's how much that guy was. That's how good that guy was.
I'm wondering if maybe you could like summon them, like maybe if you just randomly started playing Copacabana,
he just
started a conga line, he just shows up.
Dude just goes everywhere in every karaoke across the United States, just singing Copacabana. That's all he does. Drops the mic. He's like, I'm out. On to Utah I go.
Utah.
It would make sense. That's the way to make a name for yourself. Listen, I'm just saying, there's a platform. Put your name out there.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
That is so fun. So that happened at Anime Pasadena. I'm wondering what other upcoming events are coming up that he might show up at.
Yes.
What do you have going on that we might see him?
I hope the Copacabana guy shows up at Anime Las Vegas next year. It's Vegas. Hey, Copacabana guy.
Come on.
It's Vegas. Like, if there's any convention that you should be singing Copacabana at, it could be the Las Vegas convention.
Let's go.
So Anime Las Vegas, April 22nd and 23rd at the Expo. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure make sure you follow Anime L Vegas on Instagram to stay up to date with all the further news. We're going to have more news, I believe, mid-January. I'll just say after the new year. After the new year, we're going to have more news as far as like tickets when they go on sale and vendors and maybe some guest announcements and maybe the return of the Death Note panel. Wink, wink.
Wink, 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 wink.
We'll have a lot more further announcements of that. That's going to be absolutely awesome. And then we're also doing Anime Riverside May 27th and 28th. That's going to be awesome too. Follow anime.riverside. And then Anime Pasadena makes its rounds again at the end of the year, November 4th and 5th, which is my birthday. November 4th is my birthday. So we're going to be Anime Pasadena it up on my birthday.
You need the Copacabana dude to show up for your birthday.
It's my birthday, Copacabana. You better be there for this one. Yeah. You better be. That's gonna be awesome.
Colin, you've got a year to find this dude, okay?
We got a year to find him. We're going to track him.
We got to find him. If there's any footage. Also, Leo, my photographer, if you've got any photos of the Copacabana guy, that would really help. So that way we can put those photos up and ask everybody. Somebody tag him. And then my podcast will also be at WonderCon in March. I don't remember the dates right now, but in March of next year, Side Project and my project team will all be at WonderCon.
There we go.
Busy calendar this year.
Yes, there you go.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
It's nice. Brother, before we head on out, we always ask these two questions as we exit out. Okay, so a message. You got a billboard message to the world. What is your message to the world? So that's the first one. So you go ahead and answer that, and I'll hit you with the second one afterwards.
My message to the world, man, we have enough bullshit. This is gonna be a vulgar billboard.
Oh, good.
This is not for the kids. We have enough bullshit going on in the world. So when we all get together and we do things like this, such as my podcast, spread that positivity. That's what it's all about. Find something that is an escape from the bullshit in the world. Hold on to it and spread it around with everybody else, because like I keep saying, we have enough bullshit in the world. Everything that we do with like-minded people should be an escape from all of that. So laugh a little bit more, smile a little bit more, take care of the people that have mental health issues, and just spread as much positivity as you can. My billboard is very long.
Yeah, no, bro. That is, yeah. We need that, everybody. Just pay attention to that message, because it is so true. There is so much going on in the world right now. And dude, laugh a little more, smile a little more. If you could make someone's day just by saying, hey, have a nice day, or have a blessed day, please do it, because you just never know what they're going through. So,
or tell somebody they look good. That's a great one. I told a dude the other day, I'm not even bullshitting. I told a dude the other day, he looked like he was going through something, and I just walked by and I was just like, hey man, that's a really cool jacket. The smile on his face.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? The smile on his face. I did actually really like his jacket though. Like I really did. It was
better
really
when you
jacket.
mean it, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't just to make him feel good. Like I was like, that is a really cool jacket. And then I noticed he looks like he's going through something. He was like on his phone and he looked stressed out.
There you go. Hey, look at that, man. You already got a fan out of my son, bro. Inspiration right there, dog. Right there. I appreciate you, dude. Look at that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
All right. Second question, bro. You could pick 5 dinner guests from the anime universe. Anybody. What are we having for dinner, and who are these guests?
Okay. 5, dude.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I think everybody's gonna know I'm going heavy on Death Note with this one. All right.
Okay.
I gotta have Ryuk there.
Okay, for sure.
Because
apples on the table.
That's what I was gonna say. We're definitely gonna have apples. So I gotta have Ryuk there. I gotta have Light there. I gotta have Misa there, because I got a thing for Misa. You know, we'll just move past that. We'll move past that. We won't talk about that in depth. So Misa's got to be there, and then you know what? Let's have L there too, because the conversations would just be extremely weird, probably. And the fact that he'd be sitting all awkward, and I feel like that would make for just comedy. And and then I gotta have No Face in there, just to add somebody from somewhere else. I gotta have No Face in there. So
that's so fun.
That's gotta be
what a fun mix. I like that.
Yeah. Misa gang, rise up. Yeah. And shout out to Nerdbot. Colin is in here right now.
There he is, Nerdbot. What's up, Colin? It's good, brother. Hey, so what are we having for dinner though?
I'm sorry. I just got a Nerdbot. Everybody, please make sure you're following everything Nerdbot. But I ride Death Note till the death of me. No pun intended. I'm like obsessed with Death Note, you guys.
But really, truly though, when it came out, when it was available on television, this is before streaming services. This is something that I don't think a lot of people realize. That was on late at night. It was probably some people's first exposure to anime. Like, there was Sailor Moon, there was Dragon Ball, but when it came out, I think our generation was pretty much teenagers, and we kind of knew what we liked and what we didn't like at that point. But it was really something pivotal that we didn't see in Western television. And a previous guest mentioned something that in Japanese media, death is final. There is no coming back. You know, so we knew in that show, oh my God, if any of these characters die,
it's over.
This is it.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
So we were always pulled in back by that. So it was very pivotal anime for some people. So I get your obsession. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I'm glad to see it making a resurgence.
Yes. And it's like that psychological thriller aspect of it is what really, really gets me too. But what are we having, you said? Oh man. Well, I am of Italian and Argentine descent. So we gotta have some steak. Anybody that's Latin knows that the steak, any kind of steak. And I'm labeling it as steak because everybody has different kinds of steak. There's carne asada, there's entraña, there's all kinds of stuff. So gotta have just steak as a whole. I gotta have some steak there, gotta have some bread there, gotta have some chicken milanesa there, maybe a little bit of pasta there. I'm having an amalgamation of things with some iced tea, some nice ice cold water with lemon, and then a little bit of whiskey because I'm a whiskey drinker as well.
Dude, the spread,
And a
yes.
cake. We gotta have sweets. We gotta feed
some
L,
sweets?
right? No, we gotta feed.
We have
we
to,
gotta
yes.
feed him.
Full blown.
So some apples for Ryuk, and then we'll have some maybe some ice cream and cake for L. We'll have some ice cream and cake for L.
Love it. Love it.
Brother, floor is yours. All you plugins, that way where people can find you, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yes. If you're looking for me, you can find me at IG Hates Chazzy if you are looking for my personal Instagram. And if you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it at Side Project Podcast. Remember, that's project with a K on everything: Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all of those things. Episodes are bi-weekly. And like I said, they're available on YouTube as well as videos are available on Spotify. I know not too many people have their videos on Spotify. Well, the Chazosaurus Rex does. So go and you can check them out on Spotify as well. Please stay up to date with everything Nerdbot, everything Anime Las Vegas, Anime Riverside, Anime Pasadena, and Anime Fire. I do want to plug Anime Fire real quick. I know we got to get out of here, but Anime Fire is going to be absolutely awesome. Colin and I have so many amazing things that are going to be happening with Anime Fire Official on Instagram. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically going to be, it's like a new media production. It's going to have awesome live action original anime shorts and series and different things coming up. I will throw DigiDestined out there, Metabots out there. Colin is working on a Shaman King live action out there. You guys are getting exclusive right now. We haven't said anything about this really anywhere. And then
there we go.
It's gonna and the Shaman King is gonna pay homage to the original, but it's gonna have its own little Colin twist to it, Anime Fire twist to it, Nerdbot twist to it. It's gonna be absolutely awesome. And we're going to have talk shows, celebrity interviews, maybe some game shows here and there, as well as a lot of convention coverage. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And you can catch me hosting some shows there. Won't announce too much until January. We're going to be announcing a lot more, but you can catch me hosting some shows there. And then me and Colin are going to be doing some things together as well. So you will see us doing some cool shit together. And
there we go. There we go, brother. And, nice.
Forces are combining. The pieces are aligning.
Yes, and I want to plug one more thing. I want to plug one more thing. After the new year, or just in a couple days here, I'm going to be going on Friday Night Gamecasts podcast, and it's going to be their new segment called the Fireside Talk. I'll be doing that in a couple days, but it won't come out until the Go Chazzy, great explanation without breaking the NDA. Hey man, I tried, brother. There's a lot of things that I want to say that I'm just excited for, but I was like, he's in here right now, so I gotta zip it up a little bit. It's gonna be awesome though. Make sure you tune in. Friday Night Gamecast, their new show entitled Fireside Talk. I'm gonna be one of the first guests on that new segment that they're doing. It's gonna be absolutely awesome. It's like where they dive in. If you're a fan of gamers, which I know both of you guys are, games and everything gaming. It's where we pick one game and we do a deep dive into it, and the guest gets to pick the game. So I pick the game, and I'm not sure. He's in here right now. Shout out to Nick. He's in the comments. I kind of want to say what game it is, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it so he gets the shine. You know what I mean?
Okay, nice.
Let's just say that I have a tattoo of it. If anybody can make out any of those tattoos, it could be any one of them. So check that out. And I also want to say, man, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for supporting Side Project, Nerdbot, Anime Fire. I mean, just everything. You guys are absolutely awesome. Abby, I've been wanting to have you on for so long. DJ, I'm planning to have you on as well. Might as well just do both of you and have the Anime Chill podcast on at the same time. But I've been talking to Abby about it. I know it's been long overdue, Abby. We've been talking about it for a long time. But Abby was the cosplayer of the week. So if you find that episode, forgive me. I don't remember what episode it is right now. But if you go,
remember either. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been a while. But if you go and you check that episode, she does an amazing cosplay. And I want to thank you guys. You guys are doing an awesome thing for the anime community, for having everybody on, and then for the gaming community too, with the Queen of Kong here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
round of applause.
Queen of
Kong and all of your Twitch streams and everything. You guys are awesome, and I can't wait to link up with you guys more. I really can't.
Definitely, brother. Appreciate you, man. Just sharing your stories, sharing what he's got come up and coming. Everybody, links is in description. So go find the links right there. Go follow him. Go support the podcast. Go Nerdbot, Colin, all the fam right there. They're all family. So go support what they're doing because again, they're doing something awesome and just appreciation for that because it takes a lot to do what we do because we have to have a passion, we have to have a love. Exactly. To spread that out there. So yes, man, appreciate you, brother, for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you again for spending your time chatting with us. It was a blast, as I was going to expect, as I knew this was going to happen. It was a pleasure. I'm glad that you were able to sit here and chat with us about all of the things that you have coming up. I'm looking forward to checking those out in 2023. And DJ, let's send them out with our outro.
All right, brother. So every guest we got on here, it's the message that yes. It is our message that we promote to everybody, dude. So that's peace, love, and anime.
It's full circle moment.
There we go. Everybody, final message. It is the holidays. I know y'all want to party, I know you want to drink, but please don't drive. Please don't drink and drive. Stay safe. If you have to, sleep in your car before you drive your car. I'd rather you sleep in your car till you're good and ready to drive off, or get an Uber, get a Lyft, something. But please don't drive. Don't drive. We got enough accidents happening out there due to drunk drivers. We do not need any more. So just please, everybody. So we are out, everybody. Peace out, everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody stopping by tonight.
Yes.
So
chat was on fire.
Yes, they're on fire.
Chat was on fire. Anime fire.
There we go. Bye. Peace out.
Bye.